So Jimmy Carter had died, and Jimmy Carter, of course, was the 142nd president of the United States. Now, Jimmy Carter had the balls to stand up to Israel. He wasn't no little bitch, right? He wasn't like, oh my God, I'm so scared of Israel. Oh, I want that AIPAC money. We got an AIPAC Congress, but not Jimmy Carter. Jimmy Carter wasn't going to allow some fucking foreign nation to bend him over and the 50 states of this country over like a common immoral whore, right? Just bend him right over the fucking desk and just fuck the shit out of him, right? No reach around. Now, Jimmy Carter's empire never fired a single shot, which is amazing. Not one single shot. Not a single shot. You'd think a skirmish would happen, here or there. Of course, there was that one scandal with Jimmy Carter where he called Kaepernick a son of a bitch, right? No, I think that might have been the brown suit. Remember when he wore that brown suit? That was a scandal of a lifetime. Then there was the 300 slaves, right? He had 300 slaves, but he released them in his will. So that makes it okay, right? I mean, he released the slaves in his will. So actually it's saying here that he wasn't the 150,000. He was the 39th president. Okay, my bad. I stand corrected. So we want to make sure we keep all this accurate. Of course, there's, some sarcasm and a couple of jokes. And I'm also experimenting with the, having it really fucking close to my face. So Teddy Roosevelt stole the Panama Canal, right? So you had Colombia. Colombia didn't want to give him the Panama Canal. So he essentially got some people there and said, okay, I'm going to, save Panama and rescue it, and basically kind of a revolution, and ceded Panama. Now, Panama is supposed to be its own country. So even if you say that Teddy Roosevelt, stole a piece of Colombia and got the Panama Canal, well, the Panama Canal goes to the Panamanians. If they don't go to the Panamanians, then who are they supposed to go to, huh? Bolivia. They're supposed to go to America. So we basically took a piece of Colombia and then kept it for ourselves. Whether or not it goes to the Panama Canal or goes to America, without the Panama Canal, we'll have to go all the way around the tip of South America. Was it the Cape of Good Hope? So, you don't want, this is good trade for both the East and West Coast. And how many people own a fucking goddamn, British, liner, a goddamn motherfucking French, brigade? How many, ships do you own? How many ships are you sending through the Panama Canal? And so what, we're going to steal fucking Mexico, just like Woodrow Wilson. We're going to steal Canada. We're going to steal Panama. And, are we going to do that without firing a single shot? So, just thinking about his legacy, Jimmy Carter had died, right? So he dies at 100 years of age. I remember Teddy Kennedy had talked about how he had confronted Jimmy Carter. He's only president for 4 years, from 77 to 1981. And he was talking about how we had to get universal health care. That was his main issue. And then when he didn't get universal health care, then he ran against Jimmy Carter. And then people were saying, well, that weakened Jimmy. And then that, allowed Reagan. Reagan was a treasonous fuck. He made some little side deal with Iran, and as soon as he was, inaugurated or elected, the fucking hostages are released. Later on, we're going to hear about the, Iran Contra scandal. So in order to give weapons to the Contras in Nicaragua, he was going to give the money to Iran. So what the fuck is this shit? Meanwhile, we're going to send Marines over to Israel in case Iran attacks. Israel, Iraq, and versus Iran. We were on both sides of that conflict. And here you have Ronald Reagan kissing and sucking Iran's dick. Hey, release the hostages, make me look good when I become the president, make him look terrible, right? I'm trying to say we're a great country, and here are these poor hostages. What was that the Iranian Revolution? What was that whole, Jimmy Carter sold his peanut farm. So he didn't get his universal health care, but he did do a couple things, right? He has the ideal. He's a peanut farmer, become the president. He had an empire that didn't fire a single damn shot. He's also the one that stood up to Israel. He got the fucking peace cords, whatever peace cords. That was Osceolo peace cords, one of the peace cords. So, the fact that he was wanting a bitch, right? He wasn't going to just be like, okay, I'm going to suck Saudi Arabia's dick. I'm going to suck Israel's dick. And then I'm going to go ahead, I'm Hell, I'm just going to suck Japan's dick. I'm just going to suck every rich person's dick out here. And then, is that a good damn president? I don't want a president making money on the side. You know, of course, Jimmy Carter's wife goes on Fox News and tries to hawk a bunch of jewelry. Oh, she needed to make her damn money, right? I mean, my God, Jimmy Carter needed to make a fucking cool million. He wanted to make a cool million. So, Panama Canal, Jimmy Carter is going to give the Panama Canal back to Panama because we've been fighting over it for such a long time. Whether it's in Panama's hands, whether it's in America's hands, it's great that we got it. And if you don't want to go through someone else's fucking country, why don't you just dig a canal from the east and west end of America? Also, why not have fucking bullet trains? Yeah, we don't want to do technology, huh? No, we want to be last on everything. Last in healthcare, last in education, last on bullet trains. Why should we have bullet trains? You know, if we want to ride horse and buggy to the rest of our lives, that's our right as Americans to make sure we run this fucking country down into the ground. So some rich fucking goddamn ship, you know, oh, you're going to have to pay Panama some taxes or something. You're using their fucking shit. You should pay them taxes. And if you want to put a canal between the east and west coast of America and get some bullet trains, that'd be a good way to get the trade from the east to the west and the west to the east. Eisenhower built all those damn interstate, you know, all that interstate. And why would we want a president fucking making any damn money? You get $400,000 a year. All expenses are paid. Plane, car travel. You go anywhere you want to go. You can't live off of $400,000 a year. Focus on America. Focus on the economy. Focus on healthcare. Focus on our homeless people. We don't need you making a bunch of fucking money. What is the point of that shit? Oh, yeah, we're going to go ahead and elect a president so he can be rich. I elected him so he could be filthy fucking rich. Yeah, so if he's like, should I suck Saudi Arabia's dick? Okay, maybe they had something to do with 9/11. Maybe they're getting us stuck in all these damn wars. But hell, I can make $1 million. There's so many reasons. It's a conflict of interest. Don't you know what that shit means? You all didn't elect him to fucking make fucking money. Well, he's gonna make money so he can save on this and save on that. Shut the fuck up. You're a bunch of goddamn granddaddy dick suckers. Now, there was, you know, some scandals. I mean, my God, that was all. Jimmy Carter was always talking a bunch of shit, right? He called Kaepernick a son of a bitch. He freed the slaves. No, that was Lincoln. The 300 slaves was Washington. And then the Teapot Dome initiatives. Remember Warren G. Harding with the Teapot Dome initiatives? Good old Warren G. Harding. And everybody in America knows about Martin Van Buren. How he had to print $10 million up to ease the fiscal problems because that's a pecuniary obligation. Martin Van Buren had a pecuniary obligation. But you know what else Martin Van Buren did? Osceolo, the Seminole chief. He let him languish in jail until he fucking died. So good job, Martin Van Buren. And I'm not sure what Carter had something. I'm sure Carter had something to do with Martin Van Buren's bullshit or Warren G. Harding. Well, Jimmy Carter got the White House burnt down. Jimmy Carter lost Detroit to the British. James Madison, you don't know history. Of course, Jimmy Carter, he stood up to Israel. Truman says, hey, when you move 6 million people into a land that's occupied by 6 other million people, there's going to be issues. Yeah, I bet you the 6 million people that had the land first and you move 6 million into it, it's incredible how people are like, well, Israel's allowed to be a fucking immigrant colonizing nation and eye for an eye. How about eye for 10 eyes? Okay, they've already done that. Well, eye for 100 eyes. You don't think that's a little too fucking insane and a bit much? No, I believe in eye for 100 eyes justice. You steal $1 from me, well, I take $100 from you. You give me the stink eye, and then I flatten your fucking tires. You don't give me no fucking stink eye. You'll feel the wrath for goddamn years after that shit. So Jimmy Carter didn't do universal health care, but he didn't do it because he, was a fucking paid shill. He wasn't making money in hotels and shit. It was just not a priority. It wasn't the politics of the moment. He sold his peanut farm. He focused on being the best president that he could be. So universal health care just wasn't in the list of priorities. But it wasn't because you had Saudi Arabia fucking padding his goddamn bank account. It wasn't because he had to, sell some hotels or... Isn't there an emoluments clause in the Constitution? The Constitution. And what else did that Jimmy Carter do? Let's see, the Teapot Dome scandal, the 300 slaves. He called Kaepernick a son of a bitch. I kid. But Jimmy Carter did win the presidency by promising all of us that he's never going to lie to us. I will never lie to you. Which is nice. Isn't that nice? I will never lie to you. So that was after Nixon, after LBJ, after Watergate, after fucking Vietnam. So he's Mr. Truth and Honesty. Right? So we get Mr. Truth and Honesty. Came from, let's see, LBJ, Nixon, Ford to Mr. Truth and Honesty. Then we got Papa Bush's no taxes and Bill Clinton's I did not have sexual relations with that woman, Miss Lewinsky. And then you got Baby Bush. There's no weapons of mass destruction. 500 times he's doing a PR campaign saying we got to go attack Iraq. 500 fucking, speeches. Nope. No, we ain't going to allow them to have WMDs. It could turn into a mushroom cloud. Is that what you want? Do you want Saddam to blow up the whole fucking world? So 1 million Iraqis. And then think about that, too. We don't even know the body count. Was it 500,000 Iraqis? Was it 1 million Iraqis? Maybe it was just 10 Iraqis, right? How come we don't fucking know how many people were killed in the Iraq war? How fucking embarrassing. And then right now we got, post-truth generation. Mr. Lies nonstop. Mr. always tells a fucking lie. Hello, the president lied. You know how you can tell when the president's lying? Because he said he's moving his lips, he's fucking talking, He probably couldn't even tell the truth. The boy who cried wolf, if he tried to tell us the truth, he'd be like, come the fuck on. Why would anybody believe you? Jimmy Carter monitored more than 100 elections around the world. He virtually eliminated the guinea worm disease. Do you have the guinea worm disease, America? No, you don't. Why don't you thank Jimmy Carter for that? You don't have the guinea worm disease. Y'all probably have a whole bunch of goddamn STDs, you fucking syphilis, gonorrhea, but not the guinea worm disease. He also won the Nobel Peace Prize. He won the Nobel Peace Prize. Some people might criticize Carter when it comes to, the oil crisis. What is he supposed to do about OPEC, huh? I mean, what do you think? Donald's going to do something about the gas prices? He's going to give the fucking oil companies $1 million. He's going to suck Saudi Arabia's dick. You think gas is going to go down? What is gas, right? $3 right now? You think it's going to go back to $1 the way it was in the 90s, the way it was under Clinton? Nah, I bet you by the end of, fucking 2025, it'll be probably $5 fucking, probably $10 fucking. They're going to, maximize their profits. That's what they do. And then Ronald Reagan cut a deal with Iran, so he didn't get to do his 8 years, So Ronald Reagan did some corrupt treasonous shit, and then he was a loudmouth fucking bastard, shoved his entire agenda down America's throat. So it's kind of the downward trend, huh? Carter was going to save America, a regular, ordinary guy, a peanut man. Mr. Peanut became the president. Wasn't Peanut a squirrel? The Peanut, when the kid's name in Louisville, she called that kid Peanut. And then she killed that kid. And you're not allowed to kill kids in Kentucky. That's illegal. That's like illegal by life in jail. So Jimmy Carter, ran the country with a steady hand, kept the nation afloat. And he was idealistic. So he shows that the presidency isn't just for the rich and powerful. Poets, prophets, reformers are all picture makers. This ability is the secret of their power and of their achievements. They see what ought to be by the reflection of what is, and they seek to remove the contradiction. They see what ought to be by the reflection of what is, and they seek to remove the contradiction. I think that was Frederick Douglass.